Hello guys, and thank you for joining me with this video. So this will be the first video on the channel outside of the intro video that you will be seeing that I'm doing before the certifications that I take in the next few days for the CCNA. So what we're going to be talking about is a subject that I said would come up as probably the first video, and now here it is and will be. As you will hear me cough here and there, and probably see me drink a little bit here as I've finally getting over somewhat of a sickness, but still got a little bit of an itchy throat. So the voice change might be a little bit here or there. But overall, I feel well enough to do the videos. So once again, thank you guys for watching my YouTube channel and the first video here. My name is Wade, and we're going to be talking about everything IT on this channel. So the first thing I really wanted to talk about, guys, is the past that we have. You're a fresh person, fresh young teenager, maybe coming out of high school, or maybe you want to get in the IT field and you've been around for years. Maybe you're about my age, 30s. Maybe you're even older. Maybe you're 40s or 50s. It's never too late to really learn IT. Your path might vary based on your time, money, situation. All these things vary in the subject. In this subject, I have done a lot on several of them except for one of these options, which we will talk about, guys. And without further ado, let's start talking about some of them. And let's see actually if I can make the green screen any better by letting in, which it's pretty dawny outside. So you're going to see I've got four options here, the four most popular options for IT. And I will tell you which one I feel works, why it works, or maybe why one currently works, but in the future it might be a little bit different. But basically, I want to put you on the right track. I want you, maybe you don't have much guidance here. Maybe you don't know somebody who's been in the IT world long enough to really know. Or maybe you feel someone might be a little bit biased towards what they are, which is very, very common, and I will speak about as we go into there to help you maybe clarify maybe a decision. Maybe it helps you with one decision, or maybe the decision you're making, you decide after this video that maybe you should consider other options, which is kind of what I want to open up. I want to open up the view that maybe someone biased has not brought to your attention. So we've got four categories up here. At the top left, as you can see, written out in white. The first one is technical college. The second one is college university. The third one is boot camp. And maybe you're not familiar with it, and I'll explain it. And then the fourth one is IT certifications, which certifications have really excelled in the IT world, and there are several certifications, if not the most, in the IT department of anything else. There's certifications in other areas of the job field too. So let's go ahead and get this started. So the ones that I have been in, guys, is the very top one, technical college. I've been at college university, and I've got certifications. As you can see, two of them up there actually listed at the top right. I haven't had time to add other one that I'm have, and then I'm getting certified coming up soon, so hopefully we have it on there too. So let's go ahead and we're going to dive into this a little bit deep. Maybe you've taken one of these. Maybe you'll agree on my view. Maybe you won't. But I have done 3 out of the 4, guys. So that's where I'm trying to open this up. All of them is better than nothing. All of them is better than nothing. I will start out by saying that. So, all right, let's get started. Technical college, first one I ever done. I do like technical college, guys, and I think the one I went to was hands-on, but it does vary. The technical college I really like for some IT certification, or maybe not certifications, but some IT fields. Stuck on video before on other certifications, but the IT field really is dependent on what you're planning to focus on in the IT field, or which one, maybe these options, which one might be best for you, or what type of job you're looking for. So first, out of any of it, I'd recommend you determine what type of job that you're really looking for in your future. IT is a wide range. I run into this all the time. For a ramble, I'm going to sip this right quick. I run into this all the time. I work for a manufacturing company, and I'm basically over their information systems in that plant. I have two guys who come up to me, I think three probably now, within the last probably month and a half, asking me maybe something similar to this. One of them's like, "Oh, I'm going to take this degree. What do you know about this?" And I'm like, "Do you even know what you're looking at?" And a lot of them, they don't know what they want to do. They say information technology. I said, "Well, what do you really want to do in IT?" Then they have no answer after that. It's like, I'm like, "Do you know how big the IT field is? Do you know how hard it's going to be if you don't specifically know which one you're trying to go towards?" The field is huge. At one time, you probably could say that, and it was like, okay, 15 years ago, okay, it wasn't as expanded and specialized into certain areas like it is today. But now, you need to find out where you're going to focus it at. Not saying that that'd be the path you would take exactly. You might deviate, and it might be something from there, but you really need to focus on one area and really get that out of the way first. So, with that being said, that would help determine your options. So, all right, technical college is the first one I took. I took for networking. Really hands-on, guys. Super hands-on. Much cheaper option in the university in most cases. But it was straight to the point, shorter amount of time, a lot more hands-on. I actually got to deal with routers and switches and so on from there. So it was really good. So that's basically technical college. A few core classes, cheaper option, not very expensive for tuition in most technical colleges and so on from there. So the next one, university, I'm going to try to take a sip every time, guys. So I'm sorry if it annoys you. This won't always be like this. So a college university is probably the most expensive out of all of these. Maybe not like that, but it's gonna, you total the bill up, it will be the most expensive in about 99% of the time. So what is the event? If you're going for, I'm gonna be honest, guys, and it's better. Like I said, it's better than nothing. But if you're going to a university and you're going for a 2-year degree, that path, don't go to a university. I honestly don't think you should be going to a university. You need to be doing 4 years or more in a university to get the benefits. I cannot suggest that strongly enough to anybody more than anything. 2 years is just not enough anymore. In a university, you're wasting your time. Go to technical college path if you're going 2 years. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your money. You're wasting your time, and it's not going to pay off. It's not, I repeat, it is not going to pay off. And I know somebody out there has probably done 2 years, and they're like, yeah, it paid off. Could have done them 2 years in a technical college and come out cheaper, and probably even finished quicker, to be honest. And it's going to be basically the same thing. A lot of technical colleges are picking up associate degrees. So, with that being said, like, yeah, somebody out there has got that to say, oh, I'm doing fine. But the question is did they go to a technical college also? So unless they've done both, they really don't know, and then they took time between the two, because both of them are going to kind of aid each other and value him over somebody who's only got one. But if you're going to do a 2-year degree, guys, go to technical college. Find a technical college that does an associate's degree and do it, man. You're going to come out cheaper. By the amount of money you spend at the college university and the debt you're going to be in, it's not going to be worth it. Not versus your other options. It's just not going to, I promise you, it won't be worth it. Now, if you're going for a 4-year degree, then you're going to start seeing that payback. Your pay is going to be a lot nicer. You're going to be more specialized into an area, and etc. from there. But moving past that, the biggest advantage that college and universities have over all 4 of them is core classes. You're going to take more core classes. You're going to be better at writing. You're going to be better at speech. Getting up and talking in front of people. You're going to be better at math. Yeah, I mean, because your math is going to be advanced. With a bachelor's degree, I mean, you're going to take at least, what is it, calculus 2 or higher, or in most information technology, bachelor's is a calculus 2 or higher. And that's, I mean, so all the other areas in the core you're going to really excel in. And maybe you even have a minor. I didn't have time to do no minor. I did strictly, basically, information technology and focused a little bit towards the networking side or security. So moving on, you kind of get that. But it's the most expensive option by far. College university is a very expensive option overall. If you total it by the end of the 4 years, even 2, you're going to usually outweigh the amount than any other. And we'll talk about, a little bit more towards that. So third is boot camp. Boot camp is where you take this crash course, and in 2 to 3 days, usually it's a certification or a job or something like that, and you're going to do it for about 2 to 3 days, and then bam, you're supposed to be able to do this, whatever. Now, I know boot camps that are longer than that. The one I almost went to was like several weeks. Maybe I think it was like 12 weeks. But it was strictly all programming. But the thing is, it's even there, at that company, boot camps are strictly focused on the goal. They're not focused on anything past that. They're going to teach you, if it's a company, they're going to teach you what they need. Nothing else. Nothing more and nothing less. They need you to perform the job that they're trying to fill. In this case, if it's a certain programming language, they're only going to focus on that one programming language. And that's just a fact, guy. That's what they're hiring you, and they're putting you through this boot camp, which does cost them money. They're having to put somebody there to teach you. They're only going to be worried about what you need to know for them. So it kind of limits your options a little bit there. If you pay to a boot camp to get certified, like an A+ boot camp, they run, 2-3 days, maybe some 5. They're only going to teach you what it takes to pass that certification. They're not going to teach you any more or any less. All they've got several people who's taken that certification. They've sat down, they've created this subject. They do it every year or when every test changes. There might be 20 of them that takes it. They get feedback on all of them, and they figure out how to build this curriculum. And they might put a few people for free through it to see if it works. And once it works, then bam, they implement it across their program or whatever. But all their goal is not to maybe necessarily make you understand it to the ability that you should to excel, but they're going to make sure that they give you the information that you need to pass that certification so that you don't feel bad about paying them. Their goal is to get you certified, and they did their job. Nothing more and nothing less when it comes to boot camps. So I want you to really understand that when it comes to boot camps. Are they bad? No. Get certified in 5 days, that ain't bad at all. But will someone who really sat down and learned it versus the person boot camp, that one who learned it is going to seem smarter. He's going to really understand the inner works. Like I said, boot camp, they're not going to take the time. They do not got the time to sit down and explain something down to the T to you that you might not need to know. For example, in Net Plus, they might not teach you how to subnet, supernet, or anything to that extent because it might not be required in Net Plus. They'll mention it, they'll tell you what it is, and then bam, they move over, and you're kind of like, well, what is it? We didn't even do it. But it's not on the certification. Maybe you don't have to do it. I ain't saying that it is, guys, or not. I'm just giving an example here. So you're kind of lost. You really don't understand it. All you know is what it is, but you don't truly understand the purpose in it or why it's being done, or maybe how to actually create one and divide it up with network and host. Maybe you don't get that in the boot camp, where somebody else, or you actually take a class, they might show you a little bit more on it so you understand it a lot more to that extent. So that's kind of the difference between boot camps versus everything else. They're going to teach you what they need to teach you, what they're getting paid to teach you. And if it's a company, only what they need. Nothing more, nothing less. And questions are going to usually be limited in boot camp environments because they're trying to move. It's all about timing. How much can they cram and get you ready for that, for whatever they're paying you or getting paid for, or, you're paying them for? How quickly can they get you all this information into you and be done. Because usually it's 8 hours or more for each boot camp a day. Moving on to the last one, certifications. Certifications are based a lot on companies. Usually now companies give them. CompTIA is the only one that I don't think is an actual company, maybe, that created certifications that have brought it around. A plus, Net plus, Security plus, Linux plus, Server plus. There's even more that I'm not thinking of. Maybe VMware or some extent like that. They have several. CompTIA.org is their website to check out some of those. Then you have Cisco, you got HP, all these people, these vendors have. Cisco is highly kind of looked at because their certifications are considered some of the most prestige, especially for networking. And it's so physically, the way that they're just done with the simulators and stuff is so close to real, it's ridiculous. And it's one of them, certification, basically you got to be there, you got to do it, you doing the actual lab, somebody watches, especially for the CCIE, 8 hours of doing this stuff, and you've got people watching you do this, and they're going to evaluate that from there. I mean, you can't get much better than that, honestly, in my opinion, for certification. That's about as top notch as you can get from there, and you're going to make, you got to be able to do it. This is no, well, maybe I can fudge through here, maybe if I just know the terms. Gets to something like that, man, you got to actually be able to physically do it. It ain't going to matter about the book smarts. I mean, you're still going to have to know, and it ain't going to matter about this. The question is can you, it kind of answers that question, can this guy truly be, can he really do this? Or does he just read about it? That's a big deal. So these certifications are given by the vendor, and so on from there. It's something that's kind of not really been hit on in the last 10 to 15 years like it was, or about 15 years ago you didn't hear much about them. All of a sudden now they're becoming a lot popular. And more are out there from there. And to me, the IT ones are probably considered one of the oldest up to the value and probably have the most open field for countless amount of certifications, it looks like. Alright, so let's talk about these in a little bit more depth. I gave you a rough view. Now, this is where it gets opinion based. For me, it's going to really start getting opinion based, guys. You might have a different opinion. Somebody's going to come in there and say, you know what, he's wrong. And rightfully so. In your situation, I might be wrong. But I'm talking about the majority of situations. All the states, maybe across the United States, maybe the world. Your town, your job place, maybe you yourself, it might not apply to. And I respect that. It's not, what I'm looking at is the majority. I know, I've seen things where people had nothing. And I'm like, how are they in that position? But it's because of people they know. So, let's move on. I'm going to move on. I'm going to talk about these. I'm going to tell you where the future looks like it's going, what I would hire, what the world's hiring nowadays, and we're going to, etc., and we're going to go from there. And then I could go on all day about this, so we're just going to keep it down. So technical college, like I said, it's all hands-on, so on from there. So let's go down the road. I'm going to put these against each other, and I'm going to talk about the advantages and disadvantages, and one to move on, and one will stay. One to get pushed to the side, and then we will rank them throughout the entire time. We'll kind of put them all versus each other, so you can understand. Maybe you down to two. Maybe you want to realize. So we're going to talk about the top two. So let me actually edit this. I'm going to make it to where we can. So the first one we're going to look at is technical college, and they're going to have 2 stars behind them. And college universities against each other. You know what? When we start them off, we're going to let's start them off with 6 stars, and we're going to rank. You know what? No, we'll do 2. You guys just have to keep up with it on paper, I guess. All right. So college, university versus technical colleges, or colleges is fine. All right. So let's look at this from a standpoint, like I said, neutral. I've done both of these. Really and truly, it all comes down to how much money you got, how much time do you got to spend, or how far do you want to go? For an associate's, technical college is going to take the cake, especially if they offer associates. The reason why is the obvious advantage technical colleges has is cheaper. Cheaper, more hands-on usually, not in all cases, but usually cheaper and more hands-on. That's kind of how they make up their stuff. And usually your instructor is going to be people with real-world experience when an associates are higher. Some technical colleges require a bachelor's degree for to teach. College universities is going to be a little bit more strict there. Might be somebody who ain't never been in the real world. Maybe they just majored in that and then they went to teaching it and it stayed in it. Technical college is definitely going to have somebody who's been in the real world, in a job field of it, and like I said, associates or a bachelor's, most likely one of the two, could be even higher teaching there. So technical college is cheaper. So you get, if you're going for associates, you really need to go to a technical college. If you're going to a university, you need to get a bachelor's or higher. So field-wise, it's all going to come down to money. But if you want to make good money, the most bang probably for your buck, if you've got the time you want to invest, to be honest, and listen closely when I say this too, because whatever you do between these two, if you got to go intern for free, or you need to put in a little bit of time somewhere to learn, I highly recommend you do that while you're doing one of these, by far. Really, any of these, if it's possible, it helps. But out of all this, I'd say if you do the bachelor's degree with a college university, information technology, I think it's going to get the biggest bang for your buck. You're going to be stuck 4 years, I know, but you're going to, versus the technical college to me in 2 years versus the 4 years of the college university. College university, you just need to decide what you're going to concentrate in. Technical college, they're almost going to come out. Some rare cases, they'll come out the same. Don't get me wrong. But in most cases, usually the college university is going to have a bigger open field. You've learned more in the core classes. The bachelor's usually going to have a bigger hiring field. People tend to prestige the college degree of bachelor's degree above any associate's degree, which is the reason I said if you're going to do associates, go to technical college. And usually, a lot of times, without a bachelor's degree, it's hard to advance up into higher positions. Associates just doesn't cut it like it used to, guys. It gets you into entry-level stuff nowadays, but from there, it's really boils down to your experience feeding you. It's just a door opener. The bachelor's degree can open up a little bit more. Maybe you don't even go into information. Maybe you got a bachelor's in information technology, but you end up in something else. Just because you got that bachelor's degree, a lot of people hold it fairly high, which is just the way the world is right now. So with that being said, if you're going programming, without a doubt, you need a college degree, especially computer science. And we're going to talk about each of these here briefly here shortly. And basically, like I said, for 2 years you need to do technical college, but 4 years, and definitely if you're a programmer, without, usually you're going to see me say college, university's probably the rate you need to go regardless, with at least 4 years. So there's two main degrees, and you got information technology, and then you got what they call computer science. And please, guys, people make this mistake all the time. And like I said, usually it's because they don't know what they want to really do. Figure out what you want to do and decide which degree is better. Because there's no reason to waste your time and maybe take some classes that you didn't really need or learn something that you really never intended to do. And I'm going to go ahead and give you a recommendation. And you have to look deeper in some of the other things. If you are computer programming, you need to do computer science if you can help it. You might not have that option. Maybe the college don't offer it. And you forced information technology, that's fine. But if they have that option, if they have the computer science option and you want to be a programmer, I do not want to see somebody going into information technology, bachelor's in information technology over to bachelor's in computer science. It just does not make sense. And the one in computer science is going to get hired all day over you for programming with a bachelor's in information technology, in my opinion. Unless you got experience. Notice, unless you got experience to a certain extent. They focus more on programming, guys. That's how it is. If you're doing web design, usually that goes between both, to be honest. But if it was me, and you want a webmaster like who can really make the pages without limits, to me, computer science is probably the way to go. Even though the information technology teaches some of the other areas of it, I really feel that computer science, like if you want them focused on making a really good web page, no limits, computer science, learning some of that programming is huge in the web pages, creating some extraordinary web pages in that degree. Almost anything else. And like I said, if you're going to networking and you're taking computer science, in my opinion, you should be information technology. So study those and like really know what you're going for, and choose the right degree program. I can't express that enough, because you could be shooting yourself in the foot. Maybe you don't know what you want to do, and you take either or, which is fine. But make sure by the time you do 2 years that you know where you need to concentrate, maybe your extra classes too. If you're taking computer science and you decide, oh man, I want to do start focusing on getting them extra networking classes in if you can. And maybe even trying to study and get a certification towards the network side to make up for it. If you're information technology and you decide you want to do programming, start concentrating like web design, programming, any of them extra classes you can take, because you're going to get to a point where you're picking classes. After 2 years, you really need to kind of figure out where you're going to go in the university system. Technical college, you need to kind of already know, or you're going to be stuck on a path regardless from there. But between these two, associates technical college wins by far, in my opinion. Anything above university, you're going to get more bang for your buck. I think 2 years plus technical college versus 4 years of university. 4 years of university is going to have a better pay rate in most cases. So overall, you're paid, and not only that, you got a little bit more open field there. Now your debt or what you paid is going to be much higher, but your salary should be higher too than that. All right, so we say college, university, we're going to move over to technical college. Like I said, that one to me is a very tough one. It just depends on the situation, your time, and etc. from there. So going on, we're going to take the stars off of technical college because we're going to be talking about college, university versus boot camp. And we're going to cycle against these all against each other. Don't worry. We're going to just I'll tell you what, we'll go to college, university going against them all, and then we'll go technical college going against them all, and boot camp going against them all. And that should cover them. I shouldn't have to do certifications. I'll just summarize at the end with them. So, all right, college, university versus boot camp, guys. This one to me is all depends on your time and money, but it's simple which one is going to move past. Like boot camp, like I said, guys, there's several different boot camps. It could be a job offering it. It could be a company you're paying to be able to do something or be able to take something really quick. Once again, they're going to only teach you exactly what you need to know. Nothing more and nothing less. Which, in my opinion, usually limits you somewhat. Where college, university, we already talked about, but if time, the money's going to be more there, of course. But boot camp, the guys, to be honest, some of these boot camps and how much they charge to me, it's not worth it. It's too much. $1,000 to get an A+? $1,000. Some of them's $2,000 to get an A+. You could buy the book for $30-40, study yourself, and go take it. Why do you need to pay a boot camp? Like, guys, I don't understand it in some of these situations. They're not, all they're going to do is go over this and this and this, tell you what the answers basically are going to be, or try to be, and they're not going to explain anything or any more, where you can do that yourself. Boot camp. I mean, some there you don't. Like programming. The 12 weeks when I took a programming, could I learn programming from there? I might could. Learn online or something, but a book, it wouldn't be quite. Maybe I learn a little bit from a book, but programming does have a lot, and it depends on the language. And in that case, they were going to only teach me one language anyways from there. But the boot camp, the college, university, you're going to get so much more out of. It's going to still be more expensive to boot camp. I just feel that $2,000 to be able to get A plus certified, that's steep, man. That's steep. It'd be different if it was $200, $300. Think how much they're making, $1,000 for 2 to 3 days. How much they're making, and that just off of you. Think about the amount of people in that class, or even 2,000. Man, that's almost $1,000 a day for each student. They're slamming money down. Like it's greed, man. It's greed. They don't need that. They're way over covering that. They're getting rich quick. And people fall for it because they want to get certified as quick as they can. I promise you guys, that you need to know it. Or you're going to, even though you're certified, somebody's going to know that you know it or you don't. I mean, the boot camp I'm not a big fan of. If you got to do it and you got that time pressed, do it. It's better than nothing. But if you got options here and you're looking at them, man, I would do anything to talk you out of them. Especially if you got the time. If you ain't got the time, you took 3 days off or something, hey, I understand. But whenever you're not in that boot camp, like if you do that, I want you to take your time and like study the things they didn't teach you, or study the things that they moved past. Like make advantage of all the 3 of them days. Work hard as you've ever worked before in your life. Energy drinks, getting 5 hours of sleep or something. Just hammer them 3 days. Knowledge, 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 knowledge. If you're going to do it that way, and then rest up, sleep well before you take that certification. But overall, university is going to be much more. But real world skills, the time that you spend in boot camp versus the time in the college university, guys, the university is going to make your salary is going to be there. The boot camp, you're not even really guaranteed to pass that certification. They might offer it to you or your money back or some crap like that, but you need to look at all the fine print. So in this case, boot camp not bad really. Like I said, it's better than nothing. So if that's one of your options, I'm not hitting on you for it. I'm just saying that of all 4 of these, it's not the best option in my opinion. So, college, university versus certifications. Alright guys, this is where it's going to get, I'm going to explain. You know what, I will come back to this in more detail. We're just going to sum this up because this one here is one of the biggest things that I really want to explain, and nobody take it and twist what I'm saying. So, basically, I'm going to focus at first the money part. Certifications, a hell of a lot cheaper, but you're going to be self-studying, in my opinion. When I say certifications, I mean like you're self-studying, you're taking them, or you're doing it in a job, and you're taking it and you're learning more. Can you get certifications while learning in a college, technical college, or at a boot camps, or that's what the boot camp's for? Of course you can. But when I say certifications, I'm talking about the certification itself, so you can do it from home. I mean, you don't have to be a student to take it. You might get an extra cheaper voucher maybe or something, but you don't have to be a student to take a certification. You can sit there at home, do it yourself or learn, or maybe just read a book the whole time about it or study a lot in it and not read a book. Maybe you watch my videos, which is going to be over it. Be nice to have somebody get past. I'm looking for the first video that I teach or something, and somebody goes through it and say, hey, Wade, I passed by going through your videos strictly, and of course it helped me a ton. Thank you. That right there, I've achieved a lot. Like, it will make me feel prouder than anything for that person, but as well as saying, hey, what I taught really did pay off for that person from there. So you definitely go come out cheaper with certifications. The question is how proficient are you with your time? How much money do you got, and so on from there. These two to me is some of the both top-notch things that you can get. There's just 2 different paths. Like I said, you're not with certifications. You're not going to get core classes. You might somebody who ain't good at speech. They might be really, really, really crappy. I'm not going to cuss. I'm going to say really, really crappy at writing. Now maybe a company they can't afford to have somebody who can't write. So you ain't got no core classes. You basically could be somebody who was literally terrible in school, terrible at writing, terrible at math. Basically, you struggle in them skills, which is not good. By the way, you need to be focusing on them skills regardless, especially enough for the real work environment, how to manage, especially writing, man. I can't express how well writing and stuff really helps because that's something you just can't Even auto correction, guys, on Word and stuff doesn't catch all mistakes. It's just going by. It's a robot. It's assuming that you know some stuff or you're forming something a certain way, and maybe it's actually wrong because it doesn't know how you're trying to get something out. And it might be perceived differently by the person because, like I said, it's really hard to do. Anyways, but see, certification is no core classes. Straight to the chase. Can this person do this, and can they be able to do it? Do they have the knowledge to be able to do it? That's what a certification is. College goes beyond that, and that's just the way it is. And like I said, I'm going to come back to these two, but that's how it went. These two go hand in the current situation, in this current time, in this current day. These right here to me are almost, they're getting split down the middle. But I'll explain that more. This is one subject that I've had debates with people, and I've explained it both sides. But usually, a lot of times, I can make the person kind of realize, hey, you know what, this guy's probably right. And it just all depends. I'm going to talk about the real world. So move past, because we're coming back to that, and we're probably going to be spending a lot more time on that one. So let's go ahead and talk about the technical college versus boot camp. So, of course, the 2 in stars is what we're talking about to help you guys keep track. Technical college versus boot camp. Both cheap options, right? They're both kind of cheaper options somewhat than college. Boot camp can almost cost as much as a year. 3 days of boot camp, 2 days of boot camp can cost a year of technical college, some of them. And this is where it gets ridiculous to me. So it's like, well, why do the boot camp? Why not do the technical college? And on top of that, you're getting more of a degree, like an associate's degree versus, boot camp. Associate's degree can carry over a little bit more to different areas also, where boot camp really can't. So boot camp, like I said, to me, it's the worst of the 4. Technical college, like I said, but both of these are cheap. And it depends on your time. Once again, it all depends on the amount of time that you have on both. It's just all depends. You might have, you might have more time, then I recommend the technical college. If you're really short, like I said, you're short on time, you took 3 days off boot camp, it's going to be hard to fit in technical college. Boot camp becomes almost your only option. In that case, that's where they come really handy, and that's what they try to feed off of while making the quick dollar if you're paying for it. But a company is going to do it just to be able to get somebody in the field, because maybe that field. The thing is if the company is doing a boot camp themselves, chances are they're going to pay you less anyway. So your goal would be with them few years, several years, or maybe do schooling while doing there, and then go up higher. By going higher, it might be going to a different job. At least you're getting experience in that field, which is huge. Boot camp, it can open doors for you really quick for some things. Alright, so technical college in that case to me is probably better if you got the time. Like I said, none of these options really are bad. It all depends on your situation also. But I would say technical college overall would open more doors. Within 2 years would have better pay than the other ones on average. Boot camp, versus the money that you lost kind of thing. If you take the money that you lost, the amount of doors that you got open, the amount how far it can carry you, the amount of what you could do in the future education-wise, technical college pretty much takes the cake. But maybe you don't want to go. Maybe you ain't never planning on getting a bachelor's. Maybe you, so on from there, you don't got that kind of time. You ain't got time to use 2 years. Boot camp would definitely be a better choice, and it would win in this category in that case. So moving on, we're going to advance the there. All right, so technical college is certifications, and then we're going to do boot camp certifications. Then we're going back to certifications in college. Like I said, guys, I can go all day, so this is going to be a long video, but this is stuff that I want you to hear. So technical college versus certifications. A lot of technical colleges go in the same path as certifications, so both is not unheard of. Like I did when I did my A+ and Net+, I was in a technical college at that time. But, to be honest, once again, it depends on what your goal is. If you want an associate's in an education future, technical college is the way to go. It opens your door to go into a bachelor's afterwards, Where certification, guys, it doesn't. It doesn't one bit. But this is where it gets so split, kind of a little bit. Technical college is what I said it does more hands-on, right? It is more hands-on. Where certification, and some of this depends on the certification. It does everything that kind of the technical college level is supposed to do, and that is when someone's certified, hey, this person can do this. This person can do this. And I'm going to withhold the information to the other thing that I think gives certification an edge also and use it in the college part because it's huger, I think, more of an impact there and understanding. But basically it says, hey, this person can do this. This is what he can do. We know he can do it. He's certified in it, which is kind of true. Some certifications, maybe not as much, but other ones, the Cisco ones, man, I'd have to say yes. A plus, maybe. Kind of varies a little bit. Somebody with hands-on can pass to A plus. Somebody with book smarts who reads the book and memorize it, they can pass A plus, but it goes a little bit hand in hand. I think it varies, which A plus is getting better. I will say that, a lot better than what it was. So maybe I'm a little bit more focused towards the past of it when I kind of first took it from there. So that's kind of the route, and I feel, like I said, money is more at the technical college, of course. Certifications is cheaper path, and you can do it. Kind of does what technical college is focused towards telling people, hey, they get hands-on real-world experience, so on from there. The only difference is for certifications, you have to find somebody you can go to for help if you don't understand something, or technical college, that person is there. But added to both of these, if you spend, and a lot of it's going to depend on how hard you study, but if you take the same amount of time that you're spending in technical college for a 2-year degree, and you apply it to the certifications, the right certifications, and you know what you want to do, you're going to come out making more money on the certifications versus the loss. Technical college, you're going to be in some debt. The certifications, you're going to be able to pound out with them. If you spend the amount of time, you should be certified in probably 2 to 3 at least areas. Or technical college, you just got an associate's degree or something to that extent from there. And you probably, even the certification just depends on how hard you study and how you do study. You got to be more self-determined in the certifications than you would at technical college as far as that. But now, if you plan on going to bachelor's, technical college is great for that. It would win in that area, of course, opening up general studies a lot more to maybe different fields. It would definitely be better in there. But overall, certification as far as pay, which one I think's better, I'd have to go with certifications. Like I said, I've done 3 out of these, and it's, to me, I really did like the technical college I was at. It's a really good technical college. But if I had that without the certifications, I really don't think. I think the certifications opened up more doors in my pay than the technical college did. And I'm not saying that, but education-wise, it definitely opened up more university going-wise. So right, that kind of covers that. And the next one I said we were going to go to, is certifications versus the boot camp. To me, guys, this is going to be cut short and sweet. Boot camp is to teach you one thing. Maybe a company does it, maybe it's programming. But in the case of certifications, the boot camp versus certifications, clearly they're doing nothing different, or they're going to tell you exactly what you need to know for the certification than that. But really and truly, the boot camp is a money thing, man. It really is. It's a money thing or something they can take advantage of you in. Maybe you don't got a choice. Maybe boot camp programming is better than 4 years of college. You ain't got 4 years to spend. The boot camp's the only option you got. You're going to get paid, lower. Of course you're going to get paid lower. They're taking advantage of you. They only taught you what you needed to know for them. And then after 2 to 3 years, after you put in that time, you're making money during this time, and then all of a sudden you're up there to the few years of degree, associates and next, so on. Your money's going to climb. It's good in that area. But like I said, when it comes to the certifications, the boot camp certifications, I mean, guys, you can do it. You really can do it at home. You just got to put that same effort into there, and they're making thousands off of you. But you can do the same thing. Maybe they're guiding you. I mean, they're guiding you to only be able to pass it. They're nothing more and nothing less. Will you understand the full event, the full of what the certification is supposed to do? No, not necessarily. They're only teaching you to pass it. Like I said, they're going to have 20 guys who take it. They're all going to get together and they're going to try to slim down the course as much as they can to make people pass. That's it. That's all they're worried about. They ain't worried about teaching you nothing else. They could care less. They just want you to pass the certification. That is it. That's it. And that's their goal. Where certification, you're learning it in and out when you're self-studying. You may be watching videos. Like I'm going to be, in mine, it will be like real world experience. I'm going to explain it. We're going to do it physically. We're going to do it there. Like I think you should go beyond. You really should understand. What's the purpose of a certification if you're trying, I won't say it's exactly cheating, but you're trying to precisely pinpoint what they're only doing at that current time. And that test is not meant to do that, but because so many people's taking it and they're memorizing stuff and they're trying to slim it down, they just want you to pass it. They could care less. So think of it like this. Boot camp, they're never really looking out for you. They're really not. It's a straight up money thing. It's a business. And they're looking to be profitable, make money, and they're looking to achieve what the customer is looking for. You're paying for them to make you pass the A+. They're gonna let you pass the A+, but they're not guaranteed that they're gonna teach you everything that's in that book or what you should know. They're just teaching you to pass it. That's all they're looking to do. So in this case, to me, obviously certification is cheaper. You got more knowledge. Not only that, if you do it yourself, you're more self-determined. You'll be better in a work environment instead of being forced, rushing everything. Because it's kind of what boot camp environment is. Can you rush it as a regular certification? You can, absolutely. I mean, I've hammered through restudying my CCNA and CCNP. I mean, I'm just hammering through them. But I'm learning every subject. I really just learning every bit. And stuff that I maybe already know from real world experience, I kind of skip, which is fine. It's just an example. So, alright, moving on, guys. Here is the last one. We're going to talk about it a few minutes. I'm going to explain it because I feel this is the one that, and like I said, people might not agree, and that's fine. You want to PM, ask questions, no problem. I'll come up the video, I'll explain it, and we'll go from there. So, the ultimate one to me, the ultimate one that becomes really tough is a college university versus certifications. I know what I would personally pick if I was hiring, but this is not me hiring. So I want you guys to look at it like this. I'm going to kind of throw some stuff out there. We're just going to talk about this. Some of it's fact, and theoretical. So for a college university, we're going to talk about each first. College university, if you go to Harvard, Princeton, and you get a bachelor's degree versus somebody who goes to, let's say, community college, maybe one you never even heard of, get a bachelor's degree in the United States. Which one do you think was harder? Do you think Princeton and Harvard is equal in the difficulty of that community college? Or do you think the community college is easier than Harvard or Princeton? Most of you should say that Harvard and Princeton would be harder, right? And you would be correct. A lot of these, they're not going to make money. If a community college becomes that tough, all right, look at it like this. Princeton and Harvard are highly known colleges. People try to get into them so much, and they're willing to pay. But they know that they're really tough colleges. You got to be very educated, very smart, great at learning. Community college, you got to pass. What else? The college ain't going to make money. If their dropout rate is 90%, they're not going to make money. People are going to become weary at it being that difficult and spending the money, where Harvard and Princeton, people, they take pride on it. So, it is not all, what I'm trying to say is not all college systems are the same. And everything is different, based on that, kind of on that. There is no strict regulation. I mean, yes, there's some regulations, but there's no strict regulation that, hey, what you learn at this college is going to be the same thing you learn at this one. No. It's not, guys. There's just not enough regulations. It's a business. College has become a business in a way, too. It is not regulated to all colleges are basically considered equal in education level. Somebody's going to hire someone from Harvard if they got the same amount of freaking level and the pay's the same, and you went to community college and this person went to Harvard. I guarantee you they're going to take the person from Harvard. Even if they got to pay probably a few $1,000s more, they're going to take the Harvard one. They're going to be like, this guy's going to be smart. He's going to be able to bring a lot to the table in different areas just because this guy's smart. He went to Harvard. You know, he's been through some really tough problems. He knows how to handle himself in it. It's just a fact, guys and girls. It's just how it is. Is it fair? Maybe not. You know, it's just the way it is. Now, certifications are the complete opposite. I'm going to be straight up. Maybe you see where I'm going with this. Certifications across the whole world is the same. The pass is the same. And if you don't know how certifications work, usually they have a pool of questions, and they might generate 60 out of maybe 300. Or 60 out of maybe what would be 120, maybe 90. Nobody really knows what the pool is half the time. They just assume. It's going to generate through this pool. And you have to make a certain amount on the score. And that determines if you pass or don't. And it's the same as in Africa, Germany, United States. They're all the same. It's just different language, guys. But the certification is the same across the United States. The same. Doesn't matter how many fail. Doesn't matter how many pass. It's the same. So you know exactly what you're getting with a certification from that person. Dead on what you get. Where a college university, someone can only speculate how hard their courses are. Some's just going to be easier. They set how you graduate. One college is going to be tougher to graduate from. One, they could be handing it all down. And to give an example, and I'm not saying colleges in the United States, football, look at all these athletes that pass. Do I think every athlete or the percentage that they have really should be passing through these university systems if they took what everybody else took? No, man, you're talking about some of these top colleges. It's not that easy. I'm like, no, they're paving it. And the reason why, and this shows to me that colleges are becoming businesses, they have football players with these scholarships. These people, they're bringing in money. They're filling the stands. Why would they get rid of them? From a business aspect, why would you get rid of them? A college with an easier education system will pick them up, and then they're filling their stands. No, they're going to and I mean, somebody could say, oh, this is conspiracy, but just look at the percentages, guys. It's a business there to a certain extent, especially in that side, man. I mean, they pass. But all colleges to me are not considered basically like created equal, I guess. And then some are going to get favoritism over others. Maybe it's based on donations or something to that extent, or the amount of money that they bring into the school. It's never going to. I mean, it's in the end, it's a business to them. They're not going to shoot themselves in the leg because maybe this person's struggling. They're going to change something or aid that person to get, to be able to get to where they need so they can keep them, make as much money as possible. So I'm not against any colleges or anything. I'm just going off statistics. What I believe, that's straight opinion based, except for the fact of what I said, not really and truly. The education part to me is very true, and that's pretty factual. Most anybody would believe that. Harvard versus community college, which one would have a higher education or probably score overall higher in IQ related exam. And not all cases, but about 99% of the time. But maybe you have this real smart person who could go to Harvard, but he didn't, and he was at a community college, but he had the capability of going to Harvard. I'm kind of disqualifying that kind of situations, but that's kind of where I'm going. All right, colleges are not created the same. Certifications are. You know exactly what you're getting for there. So from that aspect to me, certifications is a better guideline. Now, certifications all vary. There's some high-level certifications, CCIE. There's probably some other ones I'm not thinking of. There's some that's just so high that they're really, really good, and the person's really got to know their stuff to be able to do it. So, I mean, there is levels on the certifications, but they're all created, it's equal. Regardless, in the end, that it's actually a flat line. It's the same thing that everybody else takes. So, let's move a little bit into a different direction. So, all right, the hiring environment, guys. The hiring environment is, this is the main thing nowadays, what you're looking at, and maybe the future of it to a certain extent. So I'm going to explain here. And like I said, these two to me is such a dicey between the two. It's crazy. Currently, right now, and I'm going to explain why it's like this. And then maybe this will kind of back off a few people who's like, no, man, the university's better. University's a lot better than the certifications by far. I've done fine with it. So on from there. I agree. That might shock you. I favor certifications, and I think they're technically better in some areas. You know, I'm not saying the A plus versus somebody with a 4-year degree. I think the 4-year degree is good. But if you really hammer the certifications within them 4 years, the amount that you pay and its salary, to me, is the same, if not higher. And you're out in the workforce earlier, which is going to help to that salary with the experience. And not only that, like I said, all colleges ain't created equal. But anyways, so all right, you're currently nowadays, and I'm going to agree, if you got a, you know, you're going to say, oh, I got a bachelor's, I'm hired, I'm making more than this person's got this certification. Okay, yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree. But, but, that doesn't mean that you're more qualified technically than the guy with the certification. And I'm going to explain why. Now, experience plays a lot in the part, but if we took them, you know, even whatever in the field, you know, I would take the certification. Me personally, I would take the guy with the certification because I know the certification, especially like networking, the Cisco ones, their interface, their program, you know, you're strictly doing that on them certifications. You have to know how to do it, or you won't pass it. It's not just reading a book and knowing it. You literally have to know how to go inside of a router, look at it, maybe troubleshoot it to be able to become CCNP. It's just not. It's not the same. Where at college you're not really going to be doing a whole lot of that. Not saying, I mean, some might have a better program than others. So, with that being said, so somebody would say that they'd be like, "Oh, I got a, 4-year degree in information technology. This person's CCNP, and I'm getting paid more than him." But I guarantee you, if I took both of the time you come out of 4-year college, the guy with a 4-year college degree in information technology, and I took this guy with a CCNP, and I sat a router and a network in front of them and said, "You know what? I want you to set up EIGRP, on this setup, but I want you to set up maybe 2 static routes, or port security, only allowing 2 MAC addresses, and then shuts down and so forth." I'm gonna tell you what, the CCNP guy, he's gonna know exactly what I'm asking for, like without a doubt, and he's gonna be able to do it in networking. And I could even do it on a switch that is Cisco. I can go grab a HP switch. I can grab. He's gonna know what he needs to do. The guy with the 4-year degree is gonna be looking at me like, "What the hell is this guy talking about? What is this guy talking about? VLAN? Yeah, I know what a VLAN is. Virtual, local area network." Another guy's going to look at VLAN as a whole different thing. Oh, he's wanting to separate the LAN environment because he wants to reduce the broadcast request or broadcast from going out of all ports. He's going to have a whole different mindset than this guy because he's done it. Where the guy in a bachelor's degree, he hasn't really done it. And that's straight out with somebody with certification who ain't been in the work environment and a bachelor's degree who hasn't, both going to networking. So the CCNP to me would be a lot more, and you can do it in about 2 years, to be honest. CCNA to CCNP easily, in half the time of bachelor's. He's gonna know how to do it, man. Like, and I'm not just saying that. Like, I've been to all of it, guys. I've been to all but boot camp. I'm telling you, he's gonna know how to do it. When I did the bachelor's and whatnot, I learned more in the technical college hands-on than I did with the CCNA stuff than I did with the university. All I did was learn to speak better, maybe write better, and so on from there. Not saying that my speech is perfect. I'm Southern, so it's screwed up a lot, anyways, from listening around. But when I write stuff, like, I really pay attention, or if I'm really speaking to somebody straight up from a business aspect, I'm really careful with how I'm wording stuff. Um, but they're just going to know how to do it. Not saying it ain't that. So what does it boil down to? The guy with the bachelor's degree is going to be telling me, I'm in a higher position, I'm this. Let me tell you. Let me tell you why, my opinion. And really, I believe this to be factual. Let me tell you why. And I'm going to tell you the first word before I even tell you why is bias. Biased. Bias. And you're probably going to be saying, Wade, why are you saying, why do you think biased? Who hired you? The guy who hired you, what is his background? And maybe this is stuff you need to look at before you, if you're able to find out who's hiring before you go into place, it would help too. There's more than just being certified, colleges. You really need to know how to do in your interview, what you need to focus at. Oh, I hate to say it, everybody in their mind is biased to a certain extent, no matter what it is. But when it comes to HR, is the most proudest to me about being biased. And what can you do with that What does HR have? Most all of them's got degrees. They went to a university, guys. They got degrees. Bachelor's degree. Is there any certification for HR? I really don't think that there is. I ain't saying that there ain't. But I really don't think that there is. And if there is, it sure ain't at the time that I've rarely even heard of somebody saying, yeah, I'm in HR because I passed certifications. I'm HR eligible. No, man, they got bachelor's degree. Usually the one over HR's bachelor's degree or higher. Even some under them's going to have associates or bachelors. So what's going to happen? If that's who's hiring, if it's IT, they're going to consider it a little bit different. Unless that person with the bachelor's has got a smug, and some of them will, man. When it comes to some of them, they got a smug on their shoulders with people with certifications because usually they've ran into somebody who knew more than they did on a certification side, and they've had a chip on their shoulder ever since. And they're going to commonly run into that, but they don't want to run into somebody knowing more than them. So guess what? They're not going to hire somebody with a certification. I know it ain't right, but it's biased. That's how it is. Most people who are hired, if they feel threatened, I'm not saying all of them are like that, but if they feel threatened and they find somebody who knows more than them, or they know what that certification maybe is, maybe they can't pass it, and they don't want to spend the time to learn that amount. Maybe they feel threatened and they get a little bit scared because they don't want that person to be able to know stuff they don't. They want to be the guy that people go to when they don't know it, not somebody who isn't below them and you're having to say, well, why don't you go ask him? He knows more. There will be some who does that, but a lot of times you're going to find these people, like I said, that don't want to have somebody looking better than them. Now, I'm one of those, I would hire somebody better than me because I feel that my team would make me look good. If I'm management and I'm hiring an IT team, I want them to know more if I can get a hold of them. I mean, they might not want to pay them. People may know more. They're not going to pay. But if they're willing to take it and they know more than I do, man, I'm going to hire them in a minute because I view it as a team. I'm like, man, if my team looks good, then I look good. And they're not going to replace me because they're going to say he knows how to hire people. He might not be the best person in that group, but we can't let him go because when he hires, he really knows how to find these people. He's got a knack for finding them. That's my mindset. And I'm going to learn from that person who knows more than me. Like, my goal is to learn from him, too. But, with that being said, I mean, going back, HRs are going to be bachelor's degree, man. What are they going to know about certifications? Like, really, if you think about it, what are they going to know? They're not going to know nothing. So guess what they're going to favor? The guy who comes up to me and say, oh, I was hired in the person. It's because bias, man. The person wanted a bachelor's degree. I mean, he was biased towards a college degree because he had a college degree. He has a bachelor's. He wants to find somebody similar to him. He wants to hold that value to his own degree. If I hire somebody for a bachelor's, if I hired somebody who only spent 2 years getting a certification and he's in the same level as I am, man, that guy's, I'm telling you, it's more of a biased thing. They want to feel more accomplished, so a lot of them's going to hire what they've got to something to that extent. It's just people want to feel better about themselves, and that's kind of some things are how they do it. Not saying that everybody's like that, so if you're an HR person, you're watching this. But now, as far as biased, you can't deny to me that you ain't never hired somebody because you didn't like, maybe you didn't hire somebody because you disliked them or something like that. That's happened. You might can't say it by law, but we do know that, hey, that happens every day, or you know somebody or knew somebody from somebody else. Equal employer. Yeah, I mean, some of it's biased. Not saying that all of it's like that. Sometimes you might know none of them, and you're just going by what they know. But every situation, everybody knows somebody who's got into somewhere because they knew somebody. And if you're interviewing somebody, usually you're going to go with the person that you like the best because you feel like they're going to do the best, which is what you're supposed to do, but it's biased at the same time. So that is basically what I'm saying. If you get a high T person, they're going to know what the certification represents. And I'm not saying that 100% that but they're going to know. Like I said, if they feel threatened, you should feel accomplished. And usually, if they're not hiring in some area, some extent, either one, they really don't know and they've never taken it, or two, they're threatened by it, and they won't hire you because of that. They don't want to feel threatened or find somebody who knows more. Because, like I said, you certification, you know you're going to know how to do it. Where a college degree might not. Maybe they want to look better. They want to look like the best on the team. And they're going to look at that certification and be like, man, I've took that before and I didn't come nowhere close to pass. This guy has it. I don't want to have to deal with somebody knowing more than me. And that guy might not come out and say that, but that will be in the back of his head, I promise you. From there, because if I interview anybody who knows more than me, the first thing in my head is like, man, this guy, we're going to have somebody lower than me who knows more than me. It's going to feel awkward. And it's going to almost make you not want to hire him, but you got to make that decision that, you're going to have that split. Either you don't want somebody being better than you because you feel threatened, or you want to hire them and just trust that the company believes that you know what you're hiring. You're looking out for the best interest of the company. And, I mean, I'm going to hire the guy. I'm one of those. I'm going to hire the guy, and if they're going to replace me with him, then the guy knew more than me. Maybe he deserved it. Maybe the company did wrong, but nothing against that guy. My goal was to learn from him. Or maybe the company looks at me as being like, man, this guy, when he hires, he really knows who to hire. We're not letting him go anywhere. He can find anybody off the street, and we're, going to hire him, and we're going to be fine. And that's the mentality that I feel the company's going to mostly look at because they want employees to surround and save money. And that's what your goal should be to do from there. So if you got a college degree, what that boils down to is the college degree is going to have more bias. There's going to be more favoritism in it. But in the future, guys, I expect that to start going more towards certifications. I really do. Like I said, I feel that certified people in the IT are a lot more in, not all certifications, but like for the networking Cisco ones to me is CCIE, man, they're going to be able to do it. There ain't a doubt in my mind that they can do it. Or somebody with a master's degree and bachelor's degree coming straight out versus someone who'd never done it, but they passed their CCIE from studying and doing all the way through the courses themselves. They're going to be able to do it. The guy with the degree, I'm not going to be so sure. Like, probably I'm going to be like 99% of the time, I'm like, this guy's going to smoke him. Like, without a doubt. If I put him beside a switch and I tell him, or a network, and I say I want it set up like this, I know for sure one of them guys are going to be able to do it. The other one I'm not sure about. And that's the concept that I would have. So I give certifications the win on that. But if you're looking to get hired at this current time, maybe you got 1 year to go. Maybe you got 2 years to go. Maybe you finished your associates and you decided what to do. Go with the college, the university. Go ahead and do them 2 more years because the hiring is going to be a little bit more biased. And the reason why, guys, it's the generation that we're in. A lot of the older people in the HR, they're going to be 40s, 50s maybe. These are the people that's going to be honoring their college degrees. When you start getting some of these younger people in there in their 20s, maybe early 30s, you're going to start seeing, especially in IT, you might see more certifications getting hired. So you will see that. That's coming. We're in this weird transition of it right now. But I think it's going to take about another 10 years before we're going to see certifications start overweighing the universities. And not only that, we should start seeing some certifications become a lot tougher at the same time. So I hope this video, guys, that's going to do it for this video. And I really hope that this video, guys, has been informational to you. Like I said, it's a matter of opinion. And from a business standpoint, I tried to explain the college, university, and certifications from to you guys. I know a lot of it is opinion. So if you want to hit me up, comments, or PM me, so on from there, I'll do a video and maybe I'll explain more from there. As I will be doing a CCNA course type thing soon, guys, as I take my CCNA and CCNP research very soon. I'll do the CCNA one. I'm doing them separate again because it's been, well, actually I call them research, but certified a while back and I let them expire and I haven't done them again, I take it in the next few days, and then you're going to start seeing these courses for it, strictly for it, because I feel it's the best time to teach them, because I already taken it, I know what to look for, and they're going to be completely free. And my goal is you watch these and you follow what I'm telling you, and you will be able to be certified also. So guys, that does it for the video. I hope all this has been informational. If you've enjoyed it, remember to follow, subscribe, feel free to just PM me, maybe comments, so on from there. If I don't answer your question, I'll do a video on it, maybe short Q&A if there's several questions explaining it. Like I said, it is opinion based, guys, so if you come and you tell me I'm wrong, I expect that, but expect me to also do the same. So consider it like a friendly debate. Neither of us is really wrong. I'm just telling you from my experience what I feel is best, and you're telling me from your experience what you feel is best. Maybe there's a generation gap. Maybe bias comes into play from both of us. I expect them things, but as long as it goes friendly. If you get angry or something like that, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna ignore them kind of things, because I'm not here to really argue. I respect your view regardless, but I'm not gonna get in. If it looks like it's gonna be intense and angry like that, it's like I'm not gonna get into that. I'm gonna avoid it for the sake of, hey, I want you to continue watching. I do want to be, interactive and friendly. I don't want to have to say, all right, man, you're just angry, and you can't take on any kind of debate of understanding. So just take that in consideration, guys, when you post. If I make you angry, I'm sorry. Take a minute before you comment, and then comment. Without getting angry, explain it, and I will talk with you on there. I might say, hey, you're right, but here's why I think that I choose this path, or something to that extent. Nothing is wrong. Like I said up here, nothing is wrong. Any of these, without a doubt, is better than nothing. Without any of if you've done nothing, any of them four is better than nothing, by far. I strongly encourage one of them out of doing nothing by far as an IT person. Well, until next time, guys, my name's Wade Todd. I hope you enjoy in your day, however, and if you enjoy it, follow, subscribe. You can check me out on Twitch. I do live there, sometimes studying, www.twitch.tv/Strifex1986, and you will see me on YouTube live also doing some studying on some of this, and maybe even videos here or there. Most of that will be interactive. Remember, the videos are the ones you want to watch for learning, as I will keep them short, simple, and just straight to learning. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.